My dear students, I am Richard Khokon Paul, science teacher of Milestone College, class 6. Today, I want to take science class, chapter 1. Our title name is Scientific Process and Measurement. I will take the lesson 1 to 7, or today's online CW number is 60. So, students, let's get started. So, students, our today's topic, scientific process and measurement. Steps of scientific process, necessity of measurement and unit, fundamental and derived unit. Okay, so student, what you have seen here, can you recognize? Yes, you're absolutely right. This is a image of a scale or ruler. Okay, isn't it? You have seen there is some mark is here. Can you tell what is this? Yes, you are absolutely right. This is so common. That means it has given some number. Why this number is given on the scale? Because for measure something. If you want to measure something or in any clothes or anything, so you need a tape or a scale. Okay, so here this scale start from 0 and is end for 15. Okay, so actually the scale ruler used to take some measures correctly. Like if you not take help of any scale or any ruler, so you the or any tape, so actually the measure will not properly okay. So for the actual and proper measure, we take the help of scalar ruler, isn't it? So let's see. So students, what actually we learn from this topic? We learn this topic, explain the scientific process and experiment, explain the various stages of scientific process, explain the necessity of measurements and importance of units. Okay, and finally explain the fundamental and derived unit. You must remember this, what we will learn at the end of the class. Okay, so first of all, students, the students will actually know the following terms to understand the chapter 9. Okay, so what is science? Can you say? Yes, you're absolutely right. The science is the spatial knowledge related to nature and natural phenomena. Okay, so let's see what actually we'll see the explanation of science. Actually, if I ask you a general question about science, can you say what is the things? Yes, if you say the general statement of science, so definitely science need some logic. If you think about any illogical things, so science don't believe any kinds of illogical thing. Definitely, if you want to say it's scientific, so definitely that things should have some logical observation and definitely it's some definite step. If it is scientific, so definitely that scientific things have some step. So what are the steps? Let's see. Here is written, see, any information related to nature is not science. Okay, if someone gives an imaginative explanation of a natural happening, that may not be considered as science. I told already. The explanation need to be valid through the experiment or observations. Hence, scientific explanation must be supported by the information gathered through the process of systematic experiment or observation. What are they? Well, science needs some practical experimental findings. If you want to say anything about any matters, so that have must experimental finding. How do we acquire this knowledge? We acquire the knowledge of science through experiment analysis, observation, and logical thinking. If you want to get any knowledge from any kinds of things, so definitely you have to do uh, experiment, then analysis, then observation, and logical thinking. I told, without logical thinking or without logical proof, science don't believe it. Science don't give you the recognition this is scientific. Understood? Okay. So I already told, if anybody wants to do any scientific research, so they have to abide some steps. What are the steps? See, first of all, selecting question or problem. Okay, so you have to mention or you have to think about a problem, or you have to think or select a question, then collecting information. According to the question or problem, you have to collect the data from anywhere. Okay, probable result or hypothesis. Like when you're collecting some information, most probably you will get some information. That's called hypothesis. Then what you will do? Planning of experiment and observation method and preparing tools of data collection. That is checklist. You can see easily the checklist. That means how you will do it, what way you will do it, and what types of equipments or tools you needed to complete the action. So that things definitely have to check. And observation and data collection. Next, analysis of data collection. That means what types of information or data you just get it, that things it need to be analysis. Acceptance or rejections of result. That means what types of information you will get or what types of data you have gathered, so that some things is relevant, something is not necessary, something is absolutely irrelevant. So irrelevant or unnecessary data you must eliminate. Okay, then uh, then disseminations of findings. That means what you have find, what you have gathered, so it should be dispersed or dissemination amongst the people or where you wants to actually disseminate. Understood? Well, students, explanation of these news topics. What is this? First of that, experiment process. Number one, experiment. The experiment on whatever is necessary for plants to survive. That means what question you have taken about the necessity of a plants to survive. What plants actually need to survive. Then things required for the experiment. What types of tools is needed? To small pot, to flower plants, water, dry soil. Number one, problem selection. What types of problem? In the first steps of the experiment method, you have to select the problem. I already told you. In this case, the problem is why does the flower plants die after being planted? Okay, so things required the experiment. See, I have given here two flower. One is uh, the fresh flower, another is dry, just become dye the flower. Why? Why it is fresh flower? Because all the commodities is given here, and this is why it is not fresh. I will not say the reason. In the end of the experiment, we easily find what is the reason for it is dry flower and what is the reason it is fresh flower. Okay, so let's see. So students, no existing information you try to gather. You try to gather what? You try to gather asking question to your teachers and parents on why plants die. You have come to know come to know that plants may die in absence of water. That means Already you got the information from your elders or teachers or who knows the science. So from them you will get the information. See, this is the image. The one is just a fresh flower, one is dying flower. Okay, dry flower, dry plants. So number three, taking probable decision, potential outcome. From the known information that you have explored so far, you take a probable decision. That means it is called hypothesis. Just you try to get the information, what will be the answer. Here the hypothesis is without water, plants die. I already told. Number four, planning the experiment. Now you draft a plan for conducting the experiment. Remember that in order to conduct your experiment, you will need to separate pods for the two plants. You may differentiate the two pods in terms of only one condition, while the rest of condition will be the same for both the pods. Otherwise, you will not be able to arrest that what you are looking for. Okay, then experiment. Experiment. Okay, so what we will do? The experiment. First of all, we take similar pots. It is better to take clay pot in small plastic tubs. Make small holes beneath the pots and in with dry soil. Now, plant two similar flower plants, one in each pot. Pour water in one pot and leave the other pot dry. Keep them both the plants away from sunlight. Otherwise, the plants on the next day. Observe the plants on the next day. One of the plants is about to die, isn't it? Other plants looks lively and fresh. Students, one thing is very important. That is, we know the accept water plants definitely not survive. We know this truth, but how we can prove it? Definitely, you have to take a plants, you have to take a plants and with the pot. And one plant is you can give in the sun, and one plant you are not giving the water, and you will observe the differences. Definitely, what's you're giving water, that plants will be fresh, and what plants actually you not give the water, that plant become dry. Okay, so let's see what happened. This is the fresh plants usually understood, and because this is given the water, and this is not the fresh plants because we are not giving any types of water, isn't it? So what's happened next? Let's see the data analysis and taking decision. So both the pots are filled in by the same kind of soil. Both the plants are kept in the same place. The only differences between the two was supply of water. One of the plants was watered, whereas the other was not. So what decision may come to from this? We come to the decision that one of the plant is about to die due to want of water. So the main things is definitely the water. The main reason also for the water, the plants become die. Publication of result. You can publish your result of the experiment in the bulletin board of your school. These are the steps that an experimental method may involve. These are also the steps of scientific process. So students, our next topic is necessity of measurement. For example, you need information on your height and need to know the timetables of different TV channels for news updates. In case like this, you may not get the correct information if you depend on your assumption of measuring your height or the time. Therefore, measurement is essential for the determining a specific quantity of grain. I already told why the actually measurement need. Okay, so let's see. We feel the necessity of valid measurement in every sphere in our life. I told already. Take the examples of purchasing rice or dal from the grocers. Like if you want to buy something for your family, so you have to measure something. That means one kg or half kg like that. So making clothes or starting and finishing classes in time. Like we are just taking class in like 40 minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So that's also need the timing. So each of these cases is essential to measure accurately. Without proper measurement, it is difficult to decide how many pairs of table bench will be accommodated in a classroom. How many rooms can be built within the certain areas of house, or which rooms will be the of what size? So definitely in your every sphere of life need measurement. Like if you want to do anything, so you need measurement. Or if you want to go anywhere, so you also need how much time is needed to go there, or what is the how many kilometers is far from your residence to that place. Everywhere you need to measure something. Okay. So unit of measurement. A suitable quantity or minimum fractions of measuring something is considered as a standard. This known as fractional quantities of the measurement is the unit of measurement. Generally, while measuring something, a certain fraction of the measurable articles is considered as standard. Okay. So in this case, the measuring of the length, convenient length, in case of measuring the mass of the convenient mass, and the in case of measuring the time is convenient time is considered to be standard. That means what unit we are using about the time, about the measuring of length, or about the measurement of mass. So it has the standard unit. What is that? The length, match, the time and temperatures are various things it measures in terms of respective standard quality. In this case of measurement, the result is expressed by unit. For example, let us think about the measuring the length of a room. You have to found the room is 10 meter in length, but if you say the room length is only 10, no, it does not mean that anything. Hence, in order to express measure of a quantity, you must be one gratitude, magnitude number, and one unit. So, however, while cooking, it is essential to add exact amount of spices to the curry. Life-saving medicine is also manufactured by the following specific measurement, and patient have to take medicine in a strict amount of prescribed by the physician. In fact, proper measurement is necessary in every sphere of our life. So students, do understand what is the actual need for measurement? Everywhere. I already repeat, everywhere you need measurement. Like a physician or doctors or any engineer. Engineer also need to measure the building and any room, or what is the length of the room, or so all the things, all the times they need measure. So international systems of unit. Well, there exist various types of units for measure. For example, the question, what is your height? Like, can anybody ask what is your height? Can we answer? What is, or something usually say, this answer is having the length, such as somebody's health is 5 feet 4 inch, or somebody's 6 inch, or somebody's 5 feet 2 inch. It can happen anything. Again, while the filling of the form of the passport of a an, national identity card, we have to mention our height, and we have to write our height as 1 meters 67 centimeters. What does it mean? Oh, there are various systems of unit for measurement. Okay, these are conventionally named meter, kilogram, second, foot, pound, second and centimeter, gram, second system, and these different systems of unit are followed in different countries of the world. That means different countries would use different units of measure, the same quantity. Considering this problem caused by these differences in unit for measurement, one common system of unit was introduced for all the countries of the world in 1960. Okay, so this is known as SI, or International System of Unit. In short term, it is called SI, or International system of unit. In this system, one particular unit is used for the quantity of all practical physical quantities. For example, as per the SI, unit the length is meter, the unit of mass is kilogram, and the unit of second, the unit of time is second, and the unit of temperature is Kelvin. Okay, you remember this. Now, very important things about the fundamental units. The fundamental units are the units of the fundamental quantities as defined by the international systems of unit. The unit of electric current is ampere, the unit of luminous intensity is candela, and the unit of amount of substance is mole. These are known as fundamental units. Students, you remember these things. What actually fundamental units? See, the fundamental units are the units of the fundamental quantities. That means we don't have any other things. It is alone. It is actually not differentiate. Okay, you cannot differentiate these things. This is alone and unique. Okay. Number two, derived unit. A derived unit is a unit of measurement compared to the combination of two or more units. For example, the units of area. Like if you say that what is the formula of area, or the area is made by the length and breadth. If you think about the volume, so volume definitely need the length, breadth, and height. So it is not unique. It is not actually made by the one things. So two or three things is combinedly made the derived unit. That's why it is called derived unit. Okay. So unit of mass, metric ton, 10 quintal, 1 kilogram to 1000 gram, 1 quintal to 100 kilograms, and 1 gram is 1000 milligram. You remember these things. Okay. Unit of time. Unit of time, the unit of second in all times unit. For example, minute, hour, day, months, etc. So hence 1 day to 24 hours, 1 hour 60 minutes, 1 minute 60 seconds. You know these things very well. Related question. So students, already I have finished these things. So now I give you the related question. So let's see. What do you mean by the publications of result? Very easy. Easily you can able to give the answer. What do you mean by the problem selection? Yes. Can you remember how just I had to find the selection of problem? What do you mean by that? And what do you mean by the data analysis and taking decision? Easily you can do it. Now, what is fundamental units? Very easy. What is derived units? You can be able to give the example also. And what is the SI unit? What is the unit of time? What is the unit of time and what is the unit of length? And what is the necessity of measurement? Okay. So students, now we have already finished our full chapters and given the related question. So you learn all the related question, and I hope you understood the chapter very nicely, and you can able to give all answer very nicely. So I hope you don't have any problem. So today after this, bye bye.